welcome back, man. It's your boy, Book Erban, here on Urban Topic. This is episode 11, and I am here today with a very special guest, Miss Britney McGill Mazyck. How are you doing today, Miss Britney?
I'm doing good, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Hey, I'm glad that you actually are here with us and want to express this information and all this knowledge, this genuine financial literacy that you want to put out into the world and just for our culture and community. Yeah. So I want to say again, thank you for coming and being on our show, and it's definitely an honor of ours.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So for people who may not know you, Miss Mazyck, where are you from?
Listen, I'm from Greenwood. Born and raised.
Greenwood. We in the building.
We in the building.
Shout out to the Wood. We back, baby. We ain't going nowhere. And okay, so what you do for a living? What is your profession?
So full time, I am a nonprofit operations manager here in Greenwood.
Okay.
But my passion is this right here, as an independent insurance broker.
Okay.
Providing financial services.
Awesome. I say I know you do. You just stated that you do nonprofit work for our community. Like, okay, can you touch on that just a little bit? Like,
yes.
Exactly what you do?
Yeah. So my full time, every day is as operations manager at Community Initiatives.
Okay.
We're a 501c3 here in Greenwood and surrounding area. We don't just serve Greenwood.
For sure. Okay.
But we have a free clinic.
Okay.
Anybody that doesn't have health insurance, anybody that needs to see a doctor, they can come absolutely free to our clinic.
Okay.
Absolutely free.
Okay.
212 Overland Drive. I gotta plug that real quick because people don't know that we have a free clinic in our city.
I'm glad you gave my address because I was gonna say, like, where is it located? People didn't know where it's at.
212 Overland Drive here in Greenwood, right across from the hospital.
Awesome. Okay.
Right across from the hospital.
Okay.
We also have an after school program, Safe Haven after school program.
Dope.
And we have a benefit bank. So anybody that needs to apply for benefits.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you need to apply for SNAP, which is present day food stamps.
Yeah.
TANF, which is what they used to call welfare. Medicaid. We can do those applications in office. It's virtual now.
Okay.
You don't have to go to DSS and sit there for 2 hours. Okay. You can call us. We do the application and get it submitted on the spot.
Let them know, Miss Mazyck. Let them know.
On the spot. See, I'm not saying this because I work there. I am kind of saying this because I work there. But no, CI is a gym in our community, and a lot of people don't know about this.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely.
Awesome. Okay, so touch on just your insurance, you being an insurance broker. Like, how did you become an insurance broker, and like what influenced you to join the insurance industry?
Okay, so I have been an insurance broker going on about 5 months now.
Okay.
Licensed. I say it's a combination of things. My love for people, specifically our people. You already know.
For sure.
My love for money. And a passion to put out financial education.
Okay.
I could tell, like, my own personal testimony. I don't even want to get into that right now, but I just wish I had the knowledge that I have now. I wish I had that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
If I knew half of the things that I know now about finances, about insurance, I could have been so much further.
Yeah.
And so I always say, if I feel like this, somebody else feel like this too. Yeah. And they wish they had the same knowledge.
Like, people don't understand, man. Like, a lot of things that separate the rich from the poor, or like the middle class and the poor class from the upper class, is just, for one, it's financial literacy, just that financial education that
knowledge,
you speak of.
Straight knowledge.
When you gotta fine tune on financial literacy and financial education, it automatically gonna put yourself in a better position mentally, and it'll start to transpire in your life, in real life, physically. So that's dope, man. Thank you. Okay. So, for people who may not know the difference, can you explain the difference between an insurance agent and an insurance broker?
Okay, so the terms can be used interchangeably. I want to say that. Some brokers do call themselves agents. But what I like to think about is an insurance agent is a captive insurance agent is normally a person who only sells for one company.
Okay.
So, for example, if I'm a Allstate insurance agent, I can only sell Allstate products.
Got you.
If I'm a nationwide insurance agent, I can only sell nationwide products.
Okay.
A broker is different because with a broker, I sell and contract for about, I think I have about 10 or 11 different companies that I can provide services with.
Okay.
So let's say you come to me and you say, hey, man, Britney, I need some life insurance.
Yeah.
I don't have to sell you one product. I can sit down, I can talk to you, we can have a conversation, and I can find a product that's going to fit you and your family the best.
More specifically, because you have a more outlook and a more reach on your options as far as like your repertoire.
Correct. I'm not restricted to one product.
Yeah.
When you work for one company, you can only sell that company's product.
I got you.
That means that there's something else better out there on the market. Hey, I might know it's better, but listen, I can only sell for them.
Yeah.
So as a broker, I sell for who fits my client.
Okay. Okay.
So that's the difference.
No, that's dope. That's dope. Okay. So, what different types of insurance do you sell? Is it just auto and life insurance, or do you do homeowners insurance? Like,
so no, I sell nothing but life insurance.
Okay.
Now, if I wanted to, I could branch out and get other licenses. But to be honest with you, I feel like this is my niche. This is my area. I have a passion for life insurance because I have a passion for helping families.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you a little story in a little minute.
Okay.
It'll kind of bring it full circle, but the value that's here in life insurance, I really want to hone in and stick here.
Okay.
So only life insurance for me right now.
For sure. But nah, people don't really understand the benefits of life insurance and what it can do for you financially.
Yeah.
You and your family financially.
Yeah.
But that's good, man. That's dope. Okay, so why is having proper life insurance such an important conversation for all families, and what are the ways that life insurance can be beneficial?
Okay. So I want to tell you about this, I say young lady, but she's actually older. I talked to her on Thursday.
Okay.
76 years old.
Okay.
Right here in the city. Her husband passed away last year, 2021.
Okay.
She had a life insurance policy, $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
It cost her $7,000 to bury her husband.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have that money. Mm-hmm. Both of them were on Social Security. I think she was 76. Her husband was like 77. You know, both of them, the only income they had coming in was Social Security. Mm-hmm. She had to make a payment plan with the funeral home to pay the rest of that $2,000 just to bury her husband.
Wow.
Now today, this lady who a couple of months ago was pretty much okay, had a 2-income household, today she's struggling.
Yeah.
She's struggling because what we don't understand is when you die, you're not just leaving. You're also taking away a source of income if you're married.
Yeah.
If you're a parent, you're taking away a source of provision and income from your children.
Yeah.
So I had to sit there and I was talking to her just like I'm talking to you. I asked her, I said, you know, I call her Miss Sue for this conversation. I said, Miss Sue, why didn't you have more life insurance? She looked at me just as straight face and said, I always thought about and knew I needed to get more life insurance. She said, but time just went by. She said, one day we were married and young. The next day I looked up, we were 70 years old.
Yeah.
And so basically she's saying to me was, I always in my mind knew I needed it, but I didn't have the time. I was just like, I'll get it later. Fast forward now, she's a widow. Her husband passed, and she is literally struggling to keep her home up, to keep up her everyday life, get her medicine, buy food. You know, she's going to have to apply for SNAP. She's going to have to apply for government assistance because the provision wasn't made beforehand.
Wow.
That's why we got to start having these conversations.
That's a powerful story.
That's why we got to start having these conversations.
Yeah, shout out to Miss Sue, man.
Listen.
Seriously.
And the thing that really touched me is because I just think about her, but that could be my grandmother. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That could be my mom or my aunt. So this is a story that hits home for everybody. This isn't a foreign concept. You need life insurance.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So what are the different types of life insurance policies?
Okay. So when you're dealing in terms of life insurance, you really have 2 different types.
Okay.
You have term.
Okay. And
then you have whole life. I simplify it because I like to make everything simple where people can understand it. Term.
Definitely. We like simple.
Terminates.
Okay.
The definition is literally in the word. If you have a term policy, you have that for a term. So it could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. After that term ends, you no longer have that insurance. Okay. Example, I'm 30 years old. If I get a 30-year term policy, when I turn 60, that policy ends, I no longer have insurance.
Okay.
That's what term is. Whole life. Again, the definition is in the word. You have that policy for your whole life.
Okay.
So that policy does not end as long as you're keeping it active, of course, paying your premium. That policy does not end until your family or your beneficiary receives a death payout upon your death.
Okay.
So that's the difference, term and whole life.
Term and whole life. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the different types of permanent life insurance or whole life insurance?
Whole life. Okay, so your whole life is going to be your permanent insurance. And there's a lot of different types. There's a lot of different ways you can structure whole life. I get kind of, I don't like when people say, what's the different types of whole life? Because you can go different routes.
Okay.
Most people know either whole life and then you have also like universal life or IUL.
Yeah. Okay.
So the difference is a big difference between term and whole life is cash value.
Okay.
Okay, your whole life policy is going to be a cash value.
Okay.
That means when you pay your premium every month or every 3 months, every 6 months, however you have it set up, there's a pool of money within that policy that is building cash value.
Okay.
You can take that out as a loan.
Okay.
Okay. I know we're going to talk about that literally later, but you essentially are building your own bank within your life insurance policy.
Okay.
That's available with whole life.
Okay, so that's why I've been hearing a lot of people just speak about the value of having whole life insurance because of that cash value and what you're able to do with your own money that you invested in. It's kind of like a secure loan in a way because it's your own money, right?
It's I guess you could look at it kind of like a secure loan, but it's a loan that you know you can get.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let's be real. If I say right now I want to start a business, I need $10,000.
Yes.
I go to Wells Fargo, Bank of America, wherever you want to go and try to get that loan. I pitch them my sales. You know, I give them my whole business plan.
Yeah.
They look at me and they say, hey, Miss Mazyck, that's a great idea, but we're not going to be able to fund you.
Okay.
Because you're going to somebody else to get their money. Mm-hmm. It's not a guarantee that you're going to be able to get their money. With whole life, this is your own money.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain. You go to your insurance company and say, hey, I need to get $10,000 out. They cut you a check.
Okay.
That's the difference. And that's a game changer when we start talking about you being your own bank. Now you're not dependent upon Wells Fargo or Bank of America to give you money.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
Because my mind working now. So just basically like, okay, let's say a parent takes out a whole life insurance policy on their child.
Yeah.
The whole time they small. And they grow up, they graduate high school, and then let's say they graduate college and they get ready to start their own business. They don't have their whole life insurance policy out on them the whole time. They can just go to their life insurance company that they got their policy with and go buy a house with it, go buy a business with it,
a car,
go buy land with it, go buy a vehicle with it.
Exactly. Now you
sound crazy, right?
Now you get
sounds so familiar to me, man.
Now you're getting it. Let me tell you this before you go further, because a lot of people don't realize how this works.
Yeah.
Walt Disney, you know Walt Disney.
Everybody knows Disney.
Disneyland, Disney, everything, Mickey Mouse. When Walt Disney started his company years ago, he went to the bank to get a loan.
Okay.
He was denied.
Okay.
They listened to his pitch. They was like, no, they didn't give him the money. What did Walt Disney do? He went into his life insurance policy and took the money out of his cash value and started Disney.
Wow.
Disney is a $90 billion empire today.
Dang, yeah. It takes money to make money.
Because of a startup that he got a loan that he got from his whole life insurance.
From his own policy. His own money.
His own money.
That's crazy.
Game changer.
crazy. Now this was gonna lead to my next question, like how can someone actually receive the cash payout? Because see, I was reading up onto some after you was telling me about the whole life insurance policy when we spoke earlier to just arrange this interview. Thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking into the IULs, which is index universal. What is it?
Index universal life insurance.
Life insurance policy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, and I see that they actually go up as the market rises.
Correct.
Okay, so explain that to me if you don't mind.
So an IUL is safer than just investing in the stock market.
Okay.
Think about it like this. We were taught in history, and I say history in quotation marks, why did the Great Depression happen? Because people were putting, not why it happened, but one of the effects of the Great Depression was people were putting money into the stock market.
Yeah.
When the stock market crashed, they lost everything.
Yeah.
Because when the market goes up, you gain, you make money. Mm-hmm. But when the market goes down, you lose. Yeah. And you stand a chance to lose everything. An IUL is safer because you're investing, but you're not losing your whole capital or initial investment.
Okay.
Because the money is structured within your life insurance policy.
Okay.
So if the market's going up, it's doing good, you're gaining. But if the market crashes or something happens in the economy, you're not going to lose your initial investment. So it's safer. It's also a lot of tax benefits with IUL as far as the gains of the market not being taxable. And then it's just that ability to, my thing is when I explain the IUL, I always tell people and I say this as us, we want to get into a position and we need to get into a position where we become able to fund ourselves.
Yes.
We need to be able to say, hey, you know what? I want to start a business. I want to buy some land. I want to buy a house without having to go to the bank to get that money. If you're already building that money within your life insurance, because you're paying your life insurance every month anyways, you become your own bank. You go to yourself and get that money. Yeah. And do what you need to do. So that's a little bit of a difference with an IUL and why it's beneficial. So let's say, Kevin, what, you 30, 31?
31.
31. Yeah. Okay, you start an IUL today. In 10, 20 years, you got cash value in that IUL. Your son graduate, like he said, he come up to you and he like, look, Dad, I want to do this. I don't want to go to college. I want to start my business. You can say, all right, son, I'm going to give you a loan to start your business. No questions asked.
Easy.
Just
like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. So that's the IUL. Okay, I appreciate that. It just blew my mind, man. Because I know you can. I was reading as well on the IUL. You can set a limit on it as well. Like, so if the market drops to a certain amount, you won't even worry about losing anything because you got a limit on that IUL.
Mm-hmm. And so when IULs have to be structured correctly too. So we got to look at this. When you're structuring your IUL, you got to make sure that you're building it right in order to get the maximum gains, of course. So what you're doing essentially is, if the minimum premium you can pay is let's say $75. I just throw that out. Let's say you pay $75 a month for your life insurance policy. Let's say you decide to double that. So that means you're paying $150 a month into your life insurance policy. Yeah. If you have an IUL, that money that you're overfunding is gaining. Okay. It's gaining. Wow. It's accruing every day.
It's accruing interest.
It's accruing interest every day, and it's also safe.
Yes.
So now, 5-10 years, look at how much money you've saved. Now, some people say, well, if I'm going to put money into that insurance policy, why don't I just save it myself? Yeah. Because when you go and invest your money in the stock market, like I said, if it tank, if you put your money in crypto, if that crypto tank, guess what? You just lost.
Yeah, you lost all that money.
You just lost all that money. This is safe.
Yeah.
And it's giving you 3 benefits, honestly. It's giving you security.
Yeah.
It's giving you life insurance. We already talked about the fact that you need that, and you're also building that cash value.
That's dope. All right, so I'm going to touch on one more thing real quick before we move on to the next question, Miss Mazyck. Okay, I'm sorry, Miss Mazyck. I don't want no problem.
No, it's good. It's good.
All right, so I know we were speaking on the phone, and you was telling me about how you can build a foundation using life insurance, or start a foundation using life insurance policies from a family. Let's say a family, or let's just say a community, like the urban community. Start a foundation where everybody in the community just has a life insurance policy on each other, and we got a trust or a foundation from that. And so, Can you explain? Can you just dive a little bit more deep into that?
Now that I would advise anybody. First, let me say this: get you a financial advisor. When you start talking about investing money, getting trust and stuff like that, you really want to make sure you have a financial planner or advisor to really advise you and help you. But I will say this and drop some gems.
Yeah, please.
If we were to come together, if a family came together and took out a life insurance policy on every member in that family, we all pay into it, we all have insurance on this, just think about the wealth that would accumulate for generations to come when we pass on. Because a lot of times what we don't think about in our community, and I do understand these are hard conversations. People don't like to talk about death.
Yeah.
People don't like to talk about planning a funeral or whatever, but it's a part of life.
Yeah.
And so instead of us just being like, I'll talk about that one day. Look, Miss Sue said she was going to talk about it one day too, and look what happened. Her husband died. Yeah. And they never had these conversations. Yeah. And so it's a conversation that we got to have. It's kind of uncomfortable. But if we were to start planning, getting life insurance, looking at a family trust, we could change the game for our generations to come. And that's when we start talking about building generational wealth.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how much of a game changer that is?
Yeah.
When you start talking about leaving a legacy for your children and your grandchildren and your children's children.
It's crazy, man. That's great.
But yeah, that is a way to do it. Okay. I definitely would advise people to start looking into that. Because what I am noticing, the more that I'm only 5 months in the game, but the more that I'm in this industry, I realize there's a lot of things that as a family, as a people, we're not doing that our counterparts been doing for years.
Yeah.
And then we look and say, oh, there's so much ahead of us, but why?
Yeah, and complain and try to point the finger, but
why?
It comes down to that financial literacy,
the
and
tools,
financial education.
The tools are all there.
Yeah.
The knowledge is all coming out, and it's coming out everywhere. Listen, man, you can go on Facebook, you can go on Instagram, you can go on TikTok, and there's people dropping jewels every day about life insurance, credit repair,
stocks,
of all stocks, crypto.
Yeah.
The knowledge is all there. It's up to us to look at this knowledge and say, hey, okay, I'm about to start implementing this to change my future.
Yeah,
so
researching and implementing to our lives. And when you speaking of the trust, like we just touched on, that's also for whole life insurance as well, right?
Oh, so what you would do is take a policy out on everybody that's involved in the trust, and then keep it in the trust and cash those policies out and keep that money there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now you start to, like I said, accumulate wealth.
And that trust is basically just like its own bank that everybody in that family can just go from.
Oh yeah.
At the expense or at the permission of whoever is the trust lead of the family.
Yeah.
To go get businesses, go get land, go get vehicles.
When you
any type of asset that you need, not liabilities, but assets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now we ain't talking about going to buy. No, we buy stuff that's going to make you money.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That's dope. All right, so what type of life insurance would you suggest would be most beneficial?
So this is a good question, and a lot of people ask this like, "Dang, what company should I go with, or what policy should I get?" Is life insurance period is not a one shoe fit all. What you need to do is sit down and talk with somebody, an agent, a broker, doesn't matter. Sit down and talk with them, let them know your goals. What is it that you want to accomplish with this policy? Do you just want enough money to put you in the ground? Okay. Do you want enough money to replace your salary? Let's say you're a husband or a parent and you have people depending on you. Are you trying to replace what you're bringing in for them? Are you trying to create generational wealth? We have to sit down and write down our goals, what we're trying to do with our finances, and then you go from there and say, okay, this is the type of insurance that you need. I get kind of, I don't know, when people try to push one product on somebody, it's not a one shoe fit all. You have to do what's best for your family and what you need and what your goals are.
Yeah.
You might just be saying, hey, man, look, I'm just trying to have enough money that my wife can put me in the ground. Okay, cool. You might need final expense. Yeah. You might just need enough to cover your burial. Listen, I don't know have you ever planned a funeral? Do you know how much it costs to bury somebody right now?
No, I do not.
Oh, okay. So
I do not.
Let's look at the illustration with Miss Sue.
Okay.
$7,000.
Okay,
to put her husband in the ground. No funeral, no service. That's literally just burial in the ground. Minimum $7,000.
Wow. Minimum
$7,000.
Wow.
And it goes up from there. If you have a funeral, if you have a service, if you go to a church, if you want all the amenities and all that.
Yeah.
The price decreased from there. But look at the minimum.
Kind of sound like a wedding. I'm just playing.
It do, but honestly, so when you thinking realistically, do you have $7,000 right now to just?
It'd be tough, man. People be in certain positions, especially the common people, man. It'd be tough.
Listen, and that's why we see
$7,000, $10,000 out of nowhere.
That's why we see on social media so many people putting up GoFundMes, or having a fish fry or a chicken sale because they trying to get this money up to bury their loved one. Yeah. If we had policy in place, if we had these conversations, then we wouldn't be having to have GoFundMe. Yeah. We wouldn't be having to sell T-shirts and have fish fries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
That's real because, and a lot of times when you're younger, because I know when I was younger, when I was 20, 21, I was like, man, I got my whole life ahead of me.
About that, yeah.
I don't want to think about that right now. I'll get it when I get it. But just being really realistic, people are dying at 21, 22, 23, 19, 18. Death doesn't have a number. So we can't sit here and say, oh, we'll think about that later. Or, we'll handle it later. Yeah. I have so many clients that even in this short time that I've been in the industry that I've dealt with, they just like, you know what, Britney, I'm going to revisit in 6 months. And I'm looking at them like, you don't even know if you're gonna be here tomorrow, and you talk about you're gonna revisit in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things that we put off, and I feel like people, that's what they do. They just say, I think about it later, or I get it later, or another thing, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
Nah, because it's just like, to me, you're saying I can't afford to look out for my loved ones. As a parent, I can't afford to look out for my child.
Yeah.
As a husband or wife, I can't afford to look out for my spouse.
That's a responsibility.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, it's all those things that we have to think about that's uncomfortable, but it's, like I said, conversations that we gotta have.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a real quick question. This is like a side question, just to give people perspective on these policies, especially when you're dealing with whole life insurance. Okay, so like, what's one of the cheapest monthly premiums you done seen, as far as like the benefits that came along with that premium, and what are some of the more expensive premiums as far as whole life insurance?
Cheapest policy I done seen probably was like $23
a month.
A month.
Oh, that's definitely due. If you can get Netflix, you definitely get a life insurance.
Netflix $19.99.
Yeah,
off the rip.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So the cheapest policy I've seen is $23, but I've also seen them go all the way up to in the hundreds. Yeah. I mean, it all depends. Again, my mentor, the vet, a lady that's mentoring me, she says it like this: you don't purchase life insurance, you qualify.
Okay.
And when she said that statement, I was just like, you know how you had that mind-blowing moment? Because I was like, that's really what it is. When you're getting life insurance, you got to understand your premium is all based on you. How old you are, your age, your height. Do you have underlying health conditions? Are you taking prescriptions? All of those things go into your premium. Yeah. If you get life insurance when you're young, when you're healthy, then you might be paying $23 a month.
Yeah, for a real good premium at that, for a real good package at that.
But if you wait, and this is what we tend to do, if you wait too late or too long to get it, now you're looking at a premium that's $100, $200 a month, $300 a month going on up. That's why they always say, get insurance while you're young, while you're healthy. Lately, I've been pushing children's whole life insurance.
Okay, for sure. And what are some benefits of that?
So children's whole life insurance is still a whole life policy. Your child is still covered. It's still building the cash value. But what a lot of parents don't realize is this: when you go ahead and insure your child with children's whole life, it covers them for their whole life.
Okay.
They no longer have to try to qualify or apply for insurance. As long as that policy is active, your child is protected. They have whole life insurance. And so what we don't realize is, and this is I think as a parent, because I have a son, I got a 3-year-old. Mm-hmm. As a parent, you don't want to think about something ever happening to your child. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to think about your child developing cancer, or definitely. You don't want to think about your child being sick. But go to Shriners Hospital in Greenville right now and look at all the kids that are there that have health issues. As a parent, it's hard to think about, but this is real life.
That's real though.
That's real life. Our children, we want them to be healthy. We want them to live long lives, but that's not the case. It's also parents burying their children every day. So as a parent, you got to sit back and say, okay, I need to do what I need to do as a parent and make sure my child is protected. If you get a whole life policy, doesn't matter what company is with, they're covered. Doesn't matter if they develop diabetes or cancer, whatever the case may be, that child is covered for their whole life. And it's cheap. Yeah. The younger you are when you get the insurance, the cheaper it is. Yeah. A couple of companies that I contract with, I've literally seen people get their kids life insurance for $2. Yeah. $2 a month. Like, come on, man. You go to Starbucks and spend more than that on a mocha latte.
Daily.
Daily. Or whatever you're doing. So it's really about prioritizing and say, hey, I'm going to do what I need to do.
Can parents, okay, let's say a child got a whole life insurance policy took out by their parents, and they do get sick, Lord forbid, the Most High forbid that. And can they use any money from that life insurance policy to go towards like the health care for that child? So you want to make sure, two things you want to have. You want to have health insurance, and then you want to have life insurance. Okay. So we're looking at two different avenues right here. Okay. I think a lot of times parents will make sure their child have health insurance because that's how you're going to pay your doctor's bills, your hospital bills, your dentist visits, Yeah. But then they also forget about the other side of that, which is life insurance. So your life insurance is for
You know, if something happens to you, you want to make sure you're covered. But then your health insurance kicks in when you're talking about if your child ever gets sick, and what they need as far as medical care. So it's twofold. It's twofold. You need health insurance, a good health insurance policy, but you also need life insurance. And with children's whole life, it is building that cash value. So let's say, like you said, most high forbid, something happens to them, they're 12, 13 years old, and you do need money, like we talked about earlier, go inside that policy and take the cash value out, and you can use that money.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to touch on just giving back to the community with this next question.
Okay.
If somebody was interested in getting into the insurance industry, like, how would you advise them, or what advice would you give them as far as following along this path?
Do it.
Okay.
To be honest, I would say do it.
Okay.
I first heard about the industry, I think I probably was 18, 19 years old. Yeah. Too young to really even understand what a game changer this is and why I need to do it. Yeah. I put it off for almost 10 years before I actually got licensed. I hate I did it. Yeah, I hate I did it.
We all make mistakes, man.
I should have did this 10 years ago.
18, 19, you fresh out, man.
But insurance is a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
You're going to always be able to make money. That's going to be one. You're going to always be able to make money. And two, you're always going to be able to help people.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to get licensed, I say, first of all, do it. All you got to do is literally get the study material, start studying, and take your test and get licensed in your state.
Wow.
That's it. You don't have to have a college degree. Now, if you want to go to college for finance or whatever, you can, but you don't have to have a college degree to do life insurance. And I see a lot of young people, there are a lot of young go-getters that I'm seeing that are fresh out of high school, 18, 19 years old, and they getting their license. Yeah. And they getting in this game. And I'm just like, why I ain't do that?
It's supposed to be me. That could have
been me 10 years ago. They're getting in this game early, and they're helping people early. They're changing the game because now you have this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You can pass this knowledge on to, like you said, to your community, to your family, to your friends. But not only do you have this knowledge, you help people and making money.
Yeah, definitely. It's a service
and making money. Like, you can never go wrong. When you get this license, you can do whatever you want to it.
Yeah.
Start your own business. You can work up under a company. I mean, it's endless. It's an income opportunity that's there. And
it's like it's a service-based industry, and the service is about life. Like, the only way this industry is gonna go away if there's no more people on this earth. That's crazy.
Listen, as long as people, like you said, on this earth, living, walking, talking, eating, breathing, they're going to need life insurance.
Yeah, like need. It's a necessity.
It's a necessity. Yeah. They're going to need life insurance. And another thing I do like about it is because when you selling, you remember Cutco?
Yeah.
Everybody was selling them knives for Cutco.
Yeah.
When you selling a product like that, you're selling to somebody, they don't have to get it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got to make you see the value in this knife so you can buy it. With life insurance, it is what it is. Yeah. You don't have to make people see the value because people know it's something I need.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's a win-win.
People don't understand that, man.
And still to this day, I'm like, why did I not get in this early?
It's all good, man. It's all about time. It's all about time.
Yeah.
You got to get into that right state of mind. It's all good.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right. So I asked all of my guests this question here on Urban Topic. I just want to hear your perspective and your point of view because it's definitely a needed one.
Okay.
What's one thing you love about being from the South, but also what's one thing that you dislike about the South? You feel like that needs to be changed by being from the South and specifically here in South Carolina?
Ooh. I feel like sometimes we behind the curve.
Okay.
When it comes to a lot of knowledge, when it comes to even trends, I feel like we're behind the curve sometimes.
Yeah.
Even music. I remember when I was younger, because I had family in Georgia. When I would go to Georgia in the summer, I would hear songs. They'd be like, oh, that's been out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
And then I would come back home and be like, dang, we just not hearing this song.
Yeah, we're
just not getting it.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're always kind of behind the curve when it comes to a lot of stuff. Like, we got to kind of play catch up. I don't know if you ever felt like that, but I feel like we always playing catch up to knowledge that's in bigger cities readily accessible, I guess you would say. I love being from the South, though. Yeah, you can't beat the Southern hospitality.
Okay. Everybody love that.
You can't beat it, but I do feel like, sometimes it's like we a step behind. Like,
it do feel like it at times, man. The only way that we're going to progress, in my point of view, is if we do it together, but we definitely got to research, and we got to get out here and get active. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We got to really get out here and do stuff positively. and just make these moves.
Listen, I like how you said it together, because I've been saying for like the last couple of months, we better together, and I believe that, like,
stronger, man.
There's more knowledge when you pull together. There's
just gaining more research together. Instead of me, I'm good at this, then he good at that. We all on the same point, like on the same page. Okay, I got this person, they can do that. They can do that. I can go back to him. You feel what I'm saying? They can come to me. And we can move together as a unit.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. All right, so look, man, that's
a whole podcast, right? By itself.
It is. It's definitely a whole episode.
A whole episode.
All right. Check this out, Miss Britney. How can people find you and contact you for your insurance policies and industry information, and also for your nonprofit organization information? If they want to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you?
So I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook, Britney McGill Mazyck is my name on Facebook. Also Instagram as well. Now my business name is The Design 31 Academy.
Okay.
That's my baby.
Okay.
And under my business, I have a lot of umbrellas.
It be like that.
I feel like I'm like a serial entrepreneur sometimes. I don't know.
You are.
But
you're
doing more than one thing.
Yeah.
But under my business, the Design 31 Academy, we are on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And if anybody reaches out to me there, look, I'm locked in. I got you. For community initiatives, let me get a website. You can reach community initiatives at www.myci.us.
Myci.us.
Myci.us. Okay. Also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Community Initiatives Incorporated. And we're local, like we're right in Greenwood. So if you even pick up the phone, call us 864-223-7472.
Awesome.
So they can reach us there. But social media, look, if you find me on Facebook, send me an inbox, a friend request, all that good stuff. We locked in.
We can lock in.
Yeah, we can lock in.
Listen, man, this has definitely been one of the best conversations, best interviews, and absurdly the best episode so far. I say that every time, though.
I had started feeling honored. I was like, what?
Yeah, I say it every time. It's a good thing. It gets better each time. Man.
Oh, yeah.
And we really appreciate it. We really appreciate you, Ms. Mazyck. Thank you for being a guest on our show. And just thank you for giving out so much of this final literacy to our people and to our urban community. Thank you, guys. If you guys want to tap in with Ms. Mazyck, just hit up on her Instagram, up on Facebook, or you can reach out to her at a nonprofit organization with community initiatives. This is your boy, Book Erban. This is Urban Topic, and we out.
Bye.